You've felt it, haven't you? That strange silence between one heartbeat and the next, when the soul whispers that something sacred is unfolding. The angels have been watching closely, and today they speak. They say, "This man doesn't just love you. He sees you as his last hope, the one who could rewrite everything. There's something about you, not just your beauty or the way your eyes soften when you listen. It's deeper, eternal, a frequency only souls recognize. You carry the essence of something he's been searching for his entire life, even before this life. And that's why he trembles. Because for the first time, love doesn't feel like a game or a fantasy. It feels like destiny. Like a door that only opens once, and he's terrified of missing it. The angels whisper, he was not ready for what you awakened. He thought he could live without answers, without surrender. But your presence brought light to every room inside him that had remained locked. And now he stands at a threshold, afraid to step in, but unable to walk away. There's a sacred reason you crossed paths. You were sent not to complete him, but to remind him of the divine that lives in him, through love, through truth, through your light. And this is the beginning of his transformation. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. He loves you, but he doesn't know how to be loved. Not like this. Not this deeply. The angels say, he carries wounds that no one sees. But you touch them without even trying. You see, he learned early that closeness brings risk. That to open is to bleed. Somewhere along his path, love was replaced by survival, and now whenever someone gets too close, he retreats behind walls built not of pride but of pain. You didn't do anything wrong. You simply showed him what tenderness feels like. And that terrified him. He's been through things he rarely talks about, rejections that echoed louder than any affection, losses that taught him to expect goodbye before hello even settles in. So when you showed up, radiating honesty, grounded in your own understanding, he panicked. The angels whisper, he sees your light, but he doesn't yet believe he deserves to stand in it. So he pulls back. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. You awakened hunger, memory, longing, and those are dangerous to someone who's mastered the art of emotional distance. Still, even behind the armor, he watches you, hears you, misses you in ways he won't name. His heart isn't closed. It's just scared. And no one ever told him that fear can be a doorway, not a stop sign. You were never meant to save him. That was never the assignment. The angels lean in and say, your light is not a tool. It is a flame meant to keep you warm first. Sometimes, in the quiet hours when you wonder why he hasn't fully chosen you, guilt creeps in. Maybe I should have been more patient, more gentle. Maybe I gave up too soon. But beloved, you didn't give up. You remembered yourself. You remembered that love cannot bloom where only one heart is pouring water. That you deserve reciprocity, not just affection in secret, but presence in the light. He is walking a sacred path. But so are you. And while he wrestles with his shadows, you are being called back to your own garden. Your joy. Your breath. Your reflection. You see, the deeper invitation here isn't to wait, it's to return. To pour the tenderness you've been offering outward back into the places within you that feel forgotten. The angels say, you are the lighthouse, not the boat. You were never meant to chase what was already meant for you. So if he finds his way to you, let it be because your light led him, not because you dimmed yourself to guide his steps. And if he doesn't, know this, nothing you gave was wasted. The love you offered has become your own medicine. He doesn't resist you. He resists what he sees in you. The angels reveal, your presence reflects everything he buried, everything he denied, and that kind of truth burns. You didn't mean to become a mirror. You simply stood in your truth, smiled sincerely, asked questions that went deeper than his rehearsed answers. And suddenly, he wasn't sure who he was anymore. There is a power in your gaze, not because it judges, but because it sees. It sees the boy who was silenced, the man who plays roles just to be accepted, the soul who forgot how to feel without fear. And being seen like that unravels him. He's not angry at you. He's afraid. Because the moment he looked into your eyes, he realized he couldn't keep pretending. He couldn't keep wearing masks around someone who only speaks in truth. So he runs, pauses, retreats, because denial feels safer than exposure. But the angels whisper, this discomfort is his invitation. You are not his punishment, you are his portal. A portal to real connection, to intimacy that doesn't demand perfection, to a love that doesn't flinch when wounds rise to the surface. He may not be ready yet, but the mirror remains. And one day, he will stop running. Something shifted. The angels say, he doesn't know what's happening, only that the silence no longer soothes him the way it used to. He thought he could forget you, drown the ache in noise, in routine, in familiar arms that ask for nothing true. But lately, your voice echoes in moments he least expects. In the grocery store line, at a red light, right before sleep. And it's not just memory. It's presence. Your energy, still with him. Your laughter, still alive in the chambers of his mind. He doesn't talk about it, but he's noticing things. He's sensing the gap between what he says he wants and what his soul keeps pulling him back toward. This is the beginning. The angels whisper, he's waking up. Not all at once, but gently, like dawn breaking behind closed eyelids. He feels restless, drawn. The things that once satisfied him now feel hollow. And in the stillness, your essence rises, reminding him that love isn't about control, it's about surrender. You didn't push him to this. You simply were. And your being, raw, radiant, real, lit the match. Now, the fire burns beneath his denial. And soon, it will reach the parts he locked away. Awake, O sleeper, rise up from the dead, and Christ will give you light. Ephesians 5 verse 14, why does he pull you close? Only to push you away? The angels say, he is not confused about you. He is trapped inside a loop of his own making. It feels like a dance, doesn't it? One step forward, two steps back. The sweetness of connection followed by silence. Promises in his eyes, then distance in his actions. But this isn't because he wants to hurt you. It's because he doesn't yet know how to hold something so pure. Every time you draw near, his heart remembers what's possible, what's real. But so does his fear. Fear of losing himself. Fear of not being enough. Fear that this time, if he loves fully, he won't survive the fall. So he recoils. Retreats. Not because you did something wrong, but because the rhythm of intimacy is foreign to him. The angels whisper, cycles repeat until they're healed. And though he may not yet know it, this cycle is breaking. Because you are no longer spinning with him. You have stepped into stillness, into clarity, into your own center. And in that sacred pause, he feels it. The absence of your chasing, the presence of your truth. And that begins to undo him. Your love is not loud. It doesn't beg. It doesn't chase. But it heals, in silence, in spirit, in ways he still can't explain. The angels say, she didn't fix him. She simply loved what was broken. And that changed everything. There were nights he sat alone, numb to everything, until a memory of you broke through. The way you listened. The softness in your tone. The fact that you never demanded he become someone else, only that he be honest with himself. That kind of love stays. It lingers in the bones. Softens the armor. Makes the silence hum with meaning. He may have distanced himself, but your essence traveled with him. It wrapped around the parts he abandoned. It spoke in the language of light when he only knew how to survive in the dark. He doesn't always understand what's happening inside him. Why he feels different now. Why other connections don't feel the same. But the angels reveal, what you gave was never conditional. That's why it never stopped working. Your love taught his soul how to feel again. And while he may not yet have the words, he is slowly becoming someone who could love you back, in the way your heart always deserved. There is no map for this kind of love. Only trust. Only the quiet knowing that something greater is moving you both, even when everything seems paused. The angels say, delay is not denial. The detour is still divine. He hasn't reached you yet. Not in the way you imagined. But heaven has not forgotten. You see, while your heart waited, something sacred was happening beneath the surface. Lessons unfolding. Karma dissolving. Old identities falling away from him like leaves. And all along your soul whispered, wait, just a little longer. Because love like this doesn't come rushed. It arrives when the soil is ready. When the soul is ripe. When surrender outweighs control. The angels are guiding his every step, not to make him yours, but to help him become his true self. To bring him into alignment with a truth that can finally meet your truth. You are not waiting. You are becoming. And so is he. The divine timing you fear may never come, is already unfolding. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7, he doesn't want to seem weak in front of you. That's the battle. The angels say, he trusts you enough to feel, but not yet enough to let go. He holds his heart like a trembling bird, fragile, frantic, afraid of being crushed. And still, a part of him wants to offer it to you. However, the pain of past betrayals still echoes. He remembers the times he opened up too much, too soon, and what followed. The silence. The loss. The shame. So now, every time his soul moves toward yours, his mind pulls him back. He loves you. But to him, love feels like vulnerability. And vulnerability has always meant pain. So he wraps his emotions in silence. Tells himself he's okay. Distracts himself. Retreats. Pretends. But deep down, he yearns to be embraced, not by arms, but by understanding. Not by touch, but by truth. The angels whisper, you are the only one who ever made him feel safe desiring more. That's why he hasn't let go. Even in distance, he carries your energy like a shield, both a comfort and a reminder of what he still fears he can't hold on to. He doesn't need to be perfect. He needs to be met, gently, slowly, soul to soul. And when the time is right, he will dare to fall. You've done enough. That's what the angels want you to know now. You loved with purity. You stayed with grace. You hoped, even in the silence. And now, you let go. Not because you've stopped believing, but because your heart finally trusts the divine more than the outcome. He may come. He may not. But you? You are already whole. The angels say, she chose herself without closing her heart. And that is the most sacred kind of faith. You see, true love doesn't demand presence to remain genuine. It simply exists, breathing in the spaces in between, blessing both souls regardless of distance. This was never about possession. It was about growth. You grew. He grew. And the love between you became a reflection of God's own patience. If he comes back, it won't be because you waited. It will be because he awakened. And if he doesn't, it will be because something even holier awaits. The angels are closing this chapter not with goodbye, but with peace. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8 verse 28.